The Border Patrol Union, speaking of the border, has given its unanimous endorsement to former President Donald Trump. One border sheriff explains exactly why that is.
You got President Trump. When he was president, he engaged, he worked, he prioritized this border, and he made a difference. You have Vice President Harris and President Biden that have not. Yeah, they are the would-haves, should-have on the border. I have found yet one agent to come up to me and say, Sheriff, it's working on the border. Just the opposite. Their morale's in the dirt. They're looking for some hope, and President Trump's their hope.
A recent Pew poll found 60% of voters do not think Vice President Kamala Harris has clearly explained her policies on illegal immigration. Well, she said she would do everything that Joe Biden would do. She recently flipped her stance on multiple border policies. She's now calling for stronger security, more border agents, and an earned pathway to citizenship. However, listen to what she previously said.
I think there's no question that we've got to critically re-examine ICE.
This issue is about a vanity project for this president.
Right. To be very clear, I'm not going to vote for a wall under any circumstances.
I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals.
Now, a lot of people don't remember she ran for president, and that's when she was running, and that's what she said. So now that she's running again, she has something different to say. I believe in evolution. We'll see if that's what it was. In Focus Now, you see him here, former Republican Congressman Doug Collins of the great state of Georgia, host of the Doug Collins podcast, and U.S. Air Force Reserve Colonel. Good to see you.
Hey, it's always good to see you.
All right.
Welcome back to Georgia.
Thank you. My birthplace, just up the road from coming. So tell me this. Why do you think that the surrogate in a former president, Bill Clinton, who's, I mean, he was a gifted politician, yes. Nobody would argue, what happened? Two-term president does that to Kamala Harris.
I think it's because they're going into a position in which they really don't know how to define her. And that's coming from the top. So if you have the leader, Harris, not being able to define herself, then how are the surrogates supposed to define her? And Bill Clinton just spoke the truth. That's the part that really amazes most people here. He spoke the truth. If the border had not been open, if they'd have vetted people properly, Lake and Riley would be with us today. And that was just, and what bothered me the most about what was being said there is if you listen to the crowd was saying yes.
Yes.
The crowd was saying yes, yes. Mm-hmm. But they're disconnecting from the fact that it is the open border policy of Biden-Harris that caused that death. But she just spoke the truth. And it's hard to have surrogates out there speaking in one voice when you have no clear voice from the top.
Wow. There's also the issue of migrant gangs in cities like Aurora, Colorado. And I know that word migrant gets tossed around. These people are here illegally. They are roaming like a syndicate. Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance got into it with ABC's Martha Raddatz over the weekend.
The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
Do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border?
Well, look at this. One former Aurora resident captured this video in her apartment building and now is calling out the media and government officials for downplaying the impact of Venezuelan gangs in her community.
I feel like it's a slap in the face. I'm a taxpayer. I pay my rent. I pay my bills. I do what I'm supposed to do. I feel like the media took my videos at face value and didn't do any research of their own. So they immediately said, oh, this can't be true, or this is only a few apartments. How many is okay?
Doug.
Yeah, how many is okay, Harris? I mean, this has been the most amazing election in which media has thrown, big media, ABC, CBS, 60 Minutes, the venerable giants of journalism have just thrown away all cloak of realism here. They just said, we're going to go all in. Wow. We helped push Joe Biden out. We helped the coup. We've got her installed, although we did not want Vice President Harris in May because we were talking about everybody else. But now we've got to now protect it. A journalist who said only a handful, yeah. I can't describe how bad that is. They said, well, it's only okay because it's somebody else. And then you get, changing it up the answers. People see it when they realize that's the Harris campaign problem right now. They're trying to define a fantasy land that doesn't exist to people's very own eyes.
Well, look, I mean, a handful, it really is just somebody else, because that's a migrant apartment building.
Yeah.
And they're preying on their own people. It is. It's like a syndicate. It's a mob.
It is.
They're going in and they're hustling at people who also came over the border, maybe even some of them not legally, and putting pressure on families.
Would Martha accept that in her own neighborhood? If it was only two or three, maybe if she lives in a building, maybe 2 or 3 apartments, or maybe in a subdivision. Well, if it's only those 3 houses, it's okay. That's how ridiculous she sounded the other day.
Well, none of us would accept it.
No.
Doug, thank you. Good to see you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.